Good morning, councillors, and welcome to the Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee meeting of Tuesday the 13th of June. Let me begin this meeting by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and their elders past, present and emerging. I declare the meeting open at 9 a.m. and would like to advise meeting attendees that this meeting is being live recorded and cast to the YouTubes for everybody to enjoy. I have two leaves of absence requests, one from Mayor Power and one from Councillor Heremiah. Can I please have someone move that they be accepted? Thank you, Councillor Russell, second by Councillor Wilcox. All those in favour? Sorry.
Mr. Chair, do we have a leave of absence from Councillor Bradley as well?
We have a standing leave of absence. I don't think we need to keep doing it again.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That has been carried unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. We'll now get stuck into general business for the two managers who do not have any reports because they're too busy doing work to bring us reports. Michael, do you have the Manager of Health, Environment and Waste, do you have any general business for us?
No GB this morning, Mr. Chair.
Do any councillors have any general business for Michael? Yes, thank you, Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much for you, Mr. Chair. Michael, we've had a conversation around your team's efforts when it comes to beautifying parts of the city and looking out for them. The team that does the waste bins actually made a big difference in one of our local streets in the last month by basically getting rid of all the graffiti-ridden bins and replacing them with new ones with numbers. It actually made the residents feel better about their community, and it certainly made me feel better about looking at it as I'm driving around reporting things. So thanks very much to you and your team. It does make a big difference and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll definitely pass that on. It is it might sound like a simple exercise to go to a unit complex and replace bins in and out, but it's actually quite a logistical challenge to get all of the relevant people clean away, the body corp, our staff there at the same time to do that. So it's appreciated, and I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you. Through the chair, Michael, I just wanted to say a big congratulations on Leaf. What an awesome day. It had this great vibe about it. There was lots of people there. Everybody I spoke to had a great time. I had a couple of my community organisations there, the wetlands people, they said it was fabulous, and then Sir Optimus were also doing a colouring in competition for the environment. Great feedback from everybody. Thank you and congratulations on the day to the team.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Great work, Michael.
Thank you, and of course I'll pass it on to the events team as well, so we work in partnership with them.
I'm sure they'll get a crack too tomorrow when they come in. That'll be great. Excellent. I release you from your fealty, Michael. You can go back to work. Now we have the Acting Manager for Development Assessment, Justin Bourgeois. Do you have any general business for us, please, my good man?
No GB, Mr. Chair.
Do any councillors have any general business for the Acting Manager? Excellent. You are free. Thank you. See you later. Councillors, we'll now get stuck into the economic development reports, but before we do that, do any councillors have any conflicts of interest they'd like to declare on these reports? There being none, I will call Mr. David Radish, Robin Ray and Patty. The first item is item 5.1, the Destination Management Plan for 2023 to 2028. Who would you like to speak to this one, Dave? Robin, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And through the Chair, the purpose of this report is to seek Council's endorsement of the Destination Management Plan 2023 to 2028. Since the first Destination Management Plan in 2018, Council has been steadily improving the investment environment for tourism and developing the profile of the city as a tourism destination. For 23 to 28, the Destination Management Plan builds on the outcomes of this first strategy and will continue to strive towards our mission of growing the visitor economy. Key objectives to achieve this include increasing visitor spend and stay, building the new Explore Logan destination brand, build an active and engaged trade-ready industry, grow demand through a calendar of destination events, and because tourism is an intersection of many disciplines, it's about improving our collaboration and partnerships across all areas, both internally and externally, so that we can realise the city's full potential. Strategic alignment with existing council strategies and policies, the community vision, and industry development plans has delivered an overarching framework that connects these to tourism-generating economic and livability outcomes. The framework has 5 pillars aligned with these objectives, and that includes 4 catalyst projects and 22 development themes with their subsequent actions. These themes and actions have been developed in response to a review of local and global consumer trends, destination strengths and challenges, and they've all been identified also during the consultation process. While confidence is returning to the sector following COVID-19, we are seeing our day trip visitation returning, but we have not yet fully returned to other pre-COVID markers. International visitation, of course, being one of the biggest ones still being delayed. Accordingly, this plan is focused on consolidating the work done in the previous DMP and to grow the visitor economy through increased visitor spend, overnight stay, while keeping a firm eye on the opportunities for the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games. In addition to growing demand through sporting and cultural events that we started in the previous plan, this one now aims to further activate and celebrate the natural and cultural strengths of the city. I hope you've enjoyed reading the plan and also see the vision that we have developed there, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Robin. Councillors, do you have any questions? Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you. Just with the goals, have we met these goals or are these new goals?
These are new goals. We didn't actually set goals in the first plan, so it's very important that we now start to strive to achieve particular performance indicators, and so we've set those goals. We think they are achievable, but with some of them a little bit of a stretch to it as well.
And I would love a calendar to share. I love calendars so that I can, and I know my community love calendars so that they can actually see what's going on and that sort of thing. And then the only other thing that I've got is in the actual destination management plan on page 2. It says the 4 priority game changer projects will strengthen the tourism offering and the legacy projects for the community. I'm hoping that you will be working with 5.3, which we're about to talk about in a minute, in conjunction with each other so that we can move forward for Logan and do the best that we can. Thanks.
Yep, very much so.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Councillor Lane.
Thanks very much to you, Mr. Chair. I love the part that says we've attracted, supported and facilitated over $100 million worth of new investment in private and public tourism product and experiences. One of the things that I find a little bit difficult with this, and I appreciate the hard work that this team is putting into creating economic benefit for the community, is that we don't seem to market it that well. So I can go into any restaurant in Brisbane and find what's happening in Ipswich because they're cheeky buggers and they actually drop their flyers in every restaurant, cafe and outpost in Logan and in Brisbane. In fact, I saw them at the Gold Coast as well. It just seems that our message isn't getting out. We have a lot of pages, but no one knows the pages exist, so therefore they don't go to it. A good example is we had the Heritage Fair, and it was advertised on the KBF page, but KBF only has 5,000 likes, whereas Council's page has 58,000. So I'm just wondering whether you can discuss or talk about the marketing side of things when it comes to this destination management plan.
Thank you, Councillor. It is a really challenging space. There is so much information out there when we're looking at all of the social media channels that are available. And one of the things that the feedback that we got through our consultation process was that the residents actually didn't know where to look for the information. So it is a challenge that we all face. One of the reasons that I've really highlighted the need for more internal and external collaboration is particularly around that social media and marketing. It's a fairly efficient and effective way of getting out there with limited cost, but to really be out there, as you were saying, with brochures and printed material takes resourcing and time and energy to get out there. It's really a foot slog to get into all of those venues. So it's something we would love to do. It's just, it is a challenge on where the priority is for resourcing.
Okay, thanks very much.
Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you. Just thanks for the second shot. Just to further add on from what Councillor Lane has said, I've spoken about this many, many times, and you're right, people don't know where to look because Logan City Council has about 6 different Facebook pages and people don't know where to go and look. even though we try and push it out on our socials and that sort of thing. And I have constantly said, drop everything in under Logan City Council, have your own Facebook pages, that's great. Logan City Council needs to actually share everything instead of just bits and bobs and bits and pieces and that sort of thing, because people know Logan City Council, they know the they know the page, and that sort of thing. I've been pushing it for ages. I'd really like someone to actually listen and actually, let's put everything on the Logan City Council page, have the separate ones as well. That would be great. Because I was recently down the Gold Coast. I stayed at Jupiter's Casino, whatever it's called now, the Star. And I looked through the nice, pretty leafy books, as I do whenever I'm staying away. And Pebble Creek was actually in there. And I was stunned that Pebble Creek was actually advertised in this thing. But obviously that's come from Pebble Creek, which is a developer in my area. But I was very proud of the fact that, you know, one of the very nice developments in Division 11 was actually showcased in a very nice magazine, and that sort of thing. So I would love it if we could share it all under Logan City Council. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Councillor Kransky.
I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to come around and speak with me and to run me through the plan. I think it's really exciting, and the future vision is bright, and I'm pleased that we're talking post-COVID now and starting to see uplift. So when ready, Mr Chair, I'd just like to move the report, please.
I'm very excited for you to do that, Councillor Kransky. Are there any further questions? There being none, Councillor Kerensky has moved the motion before you on the screen, and Councillor Murphy has seconded that motion. Can I see a show of hands to support it, please? That has been carried unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors, and great work, Robin. We'll now move on to item 5.2, which is the Taiwan mission for August 2023. Can Mr Radich, you want to speak to your report, or we just take it as read?
I'm happy to take the report as read.
Councillors, do you have any questions on the report? There being none, can someone move the motion for me? Thank you, Councillor Bannon. Would someone like to second that? Thank you, Councillor Stemp. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That has been carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And item 5.3 is the 2023 City of Logan Legacy Roadmap. Dave, are you speaking to this one?
Through the chair, yes I am.
Thank you.
So in about 3,000 days, the Olympics will be coming to town. So the Brisbane 2032 Olympics and Paralympics represents one of the largest economic development and city transformation opportunities the City of Logan has seen in over a few decades. The Council is engaged. We need a plan on how we're going to work up to the Olympics and how we're going to enjoy the legacy afterwards. So we've developed a plan, a Logan Legacy Roadmap, so we can take full advantage of the opportunities and the publicity that the City of Logan will get and South East Queensland will get as part of the Games. It will be all eyes on Logan, and we really need to maximise the benefits. So that's why we've come up with a plan, a roadmap, which talks about a number of initiatives that we'd like to implement. So the roadmap identifies 19 initiatives. It includes the construction of a multi-indoor sports venue that's to be located at Logan Central. Some of the important things to add on to the Logan Central venue is to make sure that we have appropriate connecting infrastructure to support Logan Central, and we also need to make sure that we're engaging properly with sporting federations, investors, the schools around what the opportunity can be for the city and make sure that they're great advocates. So one of the recommendations in the report is that we talk to those groups, we target them and make sure that they understand that the Olympics is coming. I've been speaking to some local businesses like Struddy's, and they're really on board with what the benefits could be for them. We need to do some work with the state government and with local businesses to make sure that their game's ready. There's some requirements around carbon neutrality which businesses need to abide by, and we'll make sure that our businesses are ready to jump onto that supply chain. The roadmap has been informed by EKS. EKS are the people that prepared in collaboration with the state government the Olympics bid, which obviously was successful. They've been great advocates for us, and they'll continue to work with us on the roadmap. The roadmap is the starting point. There'll be more detailed information that will come through committee. We've given a bit of an indication of the resourcing and budgets required, but obviously to implement such a large document over 10-year or 9-year time, we'll need some budget and we'll be requesting a service enhancement. That is one of the recommendations in the report. We've had an initial sweep through the organisation to see what the cost and what the resourcing will be. This is draft at the moment, so obviously this will be subject to a future detailed service enhancement. The roadmap is an important part, is an important milestone for the city, so endorsement is key so the community can see that we're serious about maximising the investment that the Olympics can bring to the city. And as I said, we're looking to engage with sporting federations, investors, schools and sporting groups to make sure they can be great advocates for the city. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Dave. I've got a question from Councillor Lane and
Thanks.
Councillor Wilcox.
Thanks very much through you, Mr. Chair. Dave, I enjoyed reading the report, but there's no reference to First Nations people in this report in regards to the kindergarten that sits just next to council right now. It's been there for 50 years. It's celebrating its 50th birthday this year. When we talk about the existing precinct plan, it talks about commercial, sporting, community and cultural buildings. That would be considered one of those buildings. And with this new proposed multi-sports centre, I'm just wondering where they sit in this plan and if they have been included in this plan, please.
So through the Chair, they can be included in the consultation that we'll undertake with this plan. There's a separate process that's been running through the state and the federal government about where the venue will sit and what supporting infrastructure will support the venue in Logan Central. So that will be an ongoing discussion. We'll keep you informed with what impact that does have on the kindergarten.
Thanks very much. My concern is more that the kindergarten will fade away to nothing. We're talking about having multi-storey buildings to support Olympic staff with no reference to kindergartens. I would hope that the new building would include a kindergarten and they could potentially go into that area. I think it's important that we protect First Nations facilities and if we can include that in this, that would be magic. But I also believe those workers coming to work in those buildings that we're proposing in this plan would need a place to put their children as well. And let's face it, it's an open and everyone's welcome sort of kindergarten.
Through the Chair, so in the next few committee rounds we'll be coming with a revised precinct plan for Logan Central. So that will give you an understanding of where the kindergarten would sit within there if it does. It's important that we understand that the state and the federal government, it's their responsibility to build the infrastructure. They're funding it, so we'll advocate to make sure that there is a place for the kindergarten, but some of that is beyond our control.
So in your advocacy, you're advocating for the inclusion of a kindergarten as part of that facility?
Through the Chair, not currently.
Could you please do that? Could you look at that as an option? I think I said this from the start, that kindergarten, we need to have a kindergarten there and it needs to be a continuation as part of this project. I'm sure the local, state and federal member would be supportive of that.
I'll let the Director respond.
I think there's probably two opportunities to have that discussion. So one is we'll have to come to council with what's called a functional brief for the venue building itself and what additions we want to make over and above what the state and federal government would deliver for an Olympic venue. So there's an opportunity to have that discussion around the kindy in that, as to whether it's incorporated in that building. But probably the bigger opportunity in my mind is the precinct refresh itself. So as Dave said, coming back to council with what the new master plan looks like for the civic or the Olympic precinct as it's now known, and what the opportunity for a kindy in that precinct is. So two different ways to have that discussion.
Thanks, Mr. Director. I'm just very conscious that I couldn't save the building next door and I don't know that I'd actually get money to rebuild a kindy. So this, I think, is the only opportunity, quite frankly, to have a kinder back in this precinct, and it needs to be here.
Through the Chair, I understand your sentiment around the kindergarten. My understanding is anything that is over and above the venue will need to be funded through council, so council would have to find the money to incorporate a kindergarten in a venue or a IOC building.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak on this. This one, I am really pleased to say that it does sound like people have been listening when we've been sitting in here and I know that I've spoken on occasion saying Logan City is the most multicultural city in the southeast corner and Queensland, and we need to promote it to those smaller Olympic countries that will come here and bring those smaller teams here. You know, because we've got 28% of people in Logan that were born overseas, so we have that draw card. Countries will come to Logan because their people are here, they'll feel comfortable here. So I think we need to go along and we need to attract those smaller countries with those smaller teams so that we can have 10, 20 different teams that will train here. And it's really refreshing to actually read that, you know, and attract them here for our pre-games teams. Those conversations need to happen, and they should be happening basically in the next couple of years so that they know that they can come here. They can possibly stay here and stay with family, with friends, but they can train because we have the venues. We're about to have 2 world-class, you know, pools. We've got ovals. We have everything that they can come and train here to do. So this was really nice to read, especially the roadmap at the end with all the little, the City of Logan Legacy Roadmap. So that was great to read. That yes, we're being listened to and we're actually going to start attracting them. And with regards to the working group, I'm not sure who's sitting on that one with the internal working group, but I would definitely like to be involved in that one. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Are there any further questions for Dave? No? Great work, Dave. I think it's very important that when you've got a once-in-a-generation opportunity to change the face of the city in the context of the Olympics and then the legacy that comes afterwards, we've got to have some courage, make some brave decisions, whether that's around keeping a First Nations and broader kindergarten in the area so that people with children feel like it's a good place to come and work, or whether it's making sure that we've got accommodation that wraps around this venue as well. It's all critical and it will all cost money, and it's going to take some hard decisions by the people in this room and future councils after the next election to have the courage to make those decisions and to improve the city in the interest of everybody for the next 20 or 30 years. So great work on having the roadmap, because if you don't have a plan, you're not getting anywhere. So well done. Would someone like to move this motion, please? Thank you, Councillor Wilcox. Can I have someone to second the motion? Thank you, Councillor Murphy. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That has been carried unanimously. Councillors, that brings us to the end of our reports for the committee. Dave, do you have any general business for us?
No, I do not.
Councillors, do you have any general business for the Economic Development Manager or the Director? Big Dave, do you have any GB for us? No? All good. Thank you very much. Well, is this Small Dave and Big Dave? The next meeting, we cannot start the day. Oh, the next meeting will begin in 10 minutes, the City Infrastructure meeting. This meeting is closed at 9:23. City Infrastructure will begin at 9:33. Thank you, councillors, for a fast game and a good game.